Knock, knock.
Damn it, I forgot to write a joke before he got to the script. Who's there?
Control freak.
Control freak who?
Now you say control freak who?
I know how knock knock jokes work, Brian.
No, that's the joke. You're supposed to be laughing now.
Okay, you know what? Because this is a Thanksgiving episode, thank you, Brian.
For what?
Thank you for making me the butt of your joke.
You always make a good butt.
Let's just start the episode, okay? It's getting awkward now.
Well, it's Thanksgiving week here in the United States.
It's a great time of the year. The weather is getting cooler. Soon it'll be snowing, especially with all the crazy weather we're bound to have. And it's a short work week.
Oh yeah, we had some snow actually today when we recorded this.
Really? Not down here we did.
It was like a pattern. It was so windy and so much, and the temperature was just dropping, so the little tiny rain we were supposed to get turned into snow.
Well, that's what you get when you live in Wisconsin, eh?
Yay, sure. So, yeah, it's Thanksgiving. Soon turkeys are going to be cooking, the potatoes will be mashing, and families everywhere will be thankful for their relatives to finally leave the house.
Wow, that's cynical, Brian. Accurate, but cynical.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, people. I know not everyone eats mashed potatoes.
Anyway, this is the time of the year where we give thanks.
So, what are you thankful for, Mark?
I'm thankful for, well, flow. I mean, aren't you? It's flow.
Isn't everyone?
It's fantastic. I mean, if you're not, then it's probably because you haven't used it yet. Or you're a dev. That's a thing, actually. I've noticed a lot of devs don't like Flow. And it's not just because
they're scared
it's
of
not
it.
Like, no, it's not just necessarily that. They don't, some of them don't get it. Like, to them...
How do they not get Flow? It's pretty much in every edition of Salesforce Enterprise on up.
No. I mean, they don't understand it.
Oh, well, you should have said that the first time.
Either they have trouble wrapping their heads around it because they're used to writing code, or they don't understand why anyone would use it instead of writing code. It's hard to explain. Like, you try, it doesn't always work. I love you, devs. I really do. We couldn't have a functioning ecosystem without you. You're fantastic. But they just don't understand Flow. It's interesting.
It's just more power for us declarative admins.
Well, there you go. I'm also thankful... Oh, no, you go first. We'll share.
Well, share, Mark. 'Tis the season, right?
For eating.
I'm thankful for really excellent product managers, like people like Shauna Wolverton and especially Shelly Ursig.
Amen.
I forgot her last name for a second. Shelly Ursig. For giving us Process Builder this year. We should all be thankful for Process Builder.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's an amazing tool. And I know a lot of people are putting it to very powerful use. And one of the nice things about it is, well, okay, Flow's complicated. You can do a lot with Process Builder. It gives a lot of power to admins who can't necessarily work with Flow, either because they have trouble with it or because they just don't have the time to devote to it.
Oh yeah, I'm actually working with a client right now to do a huge amount of automation with Bracket Labs TaskRay using pretty much just Process Builder and Flow. I've written no code, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh, it's so good. I love hearing that sort of thing. I'm also thankful, and this is something that I think doesn't necessarily always get a lot of attention when it comes to like giving thanks for things at Salesforce. I'm thankful for the App Exchange.
Oh yeah, there's tons of them.
Oh yeah,
tons of apps.
The thing is, it's so easy to take it for granted, just because you get one app that like solves your Salesforce life, and you're set for a while, and you just kind of move on. And it's not until something else comes up, and in between those needs, it's just so easy to kind of overlook.
Well, if we're talking App Exchange, then I should say I'm thankful that we have sandboxes and developer orgs so we can test those apps first to make sure that they actually work the way we want them to. Because some of them are kind of old. Sometimes they don't have that pizzazz that some of the newer apps do.
That chutzpah?
The oomph, they gotta come from the diaphragm.
Right. That kind of, yes.
Yes.
I don't know what that was. I have no clue what I'm saying now.
I don't know what it is.
This is the caffeine talking.
What else are you thankful for, Mark?
That's all I came up with for.
Really? I'm thankful for leftover Halloween candy.
Okay, but that's not Salesforce related. You still have more candy.
You know, I'm going to do one more thank you.
Okay.
I want to say I am thankful for you, Mark, because
really?
without you, I wouldn't have a good podcast. The WizardCast wouldn't be the same without you. It is good to have a co-host that doesn't completely suck.
Well, thank you, Brian, and I'm thankful to have you because I have someone who writes the script, so I don't have to.
Yeah, you lazy bum.
Which reminds me, I need to come up with jokes for next week's episode. And let me add that to my to-do list.
If you're using TaskRay, you could just create a task really quickly.
I could like drag it over. It would be fantastic.
Yeah. And Bracket Labs, if you want to sponsor us, just give us a call.
We'd be very thankful if you did. You see what I did there?
Oh, yeah. I
tied that in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Mark? Wouldn't it be great if everyone who is listening to this podcast could join in and give thanks just like we did?
Well, it just so happens that they can.
They can.
They can join our fun because we have made a Give Thanks app. And they can get to it by going to bit.ly. That's bit.ly/WizardThanks. That's WizardThanks with no capital letters.
With the app that we wrote, you can see people who have posted thanks this year, and you can add your own. And we're doing this using a little bit of Apex, a Visualforce page, but a lot of the driving, when you're actually putting in what you're thankful for, is all coming out of Flow.
Woohoo! And we will be sharing some of these on Twitter during the week. So give thanks, and give thanks often. Now it's time for our Salesforce video of the undetermined amount of time until the next one.
This week we're going to get hot.
Heat wave! I like the island in the sun. Oh, wait, you mean the other type of hot, don't you?
Yeah, sadly, it's November, and I'm in the Northern Hemisphere. We're not getting hot.
No, you're not. But we're talking about the other kind. We're not talking about temperature. We're talking about hands-on training, HOT.
The only type of training that lets you put its hands all over it.
Okay, let's not give our listeners the wrong impression, Brian. This training will not touch you. However, it will provide.
No, you get to touch the training.
That's okay. Well, I suppose maybe they have a touch screen. Maybe they're doing it. Stop making that. Don't. No, Brian. Thank you, audience. You should be thankful right now, since we're being thankful and Thanksgiving that you cannot see Brian on camera. That was no.
Mark. What? You're acting like I was doing something lewd. I was simply brushing some lint off of my shirt.
Right. Sure. In swirling patterns. Anyway, so...
It's the best way to get lint off.
Is it? Maybe I should try that.
Yeah. You can ask your wife sometime. You have to do an observation. You can ask her, I have some lint on my shirt. Can you tell me if this is getting it off better?
I will try that next time. I'm sure it will go over well. And have no negative side effects whatsoever. Anyway,
so back on topic.
Yes, these are hands-on trainings and there's lots of them. It's a collection that were recorded by MVPs while we were at Dreamforce. We all went to the Salesforce headquarters and we recorded these. It's a collection of topics. We did one on advanced flow. There's others on process builder. What else? What else is there, Brian?
Well, I did one on using automatic dynamic approval processes using visual workflow. That was actually developed by Gorev Seth, who unfortunately couldn't make it to Dreamforce this year, so I filled in for him. There are other ones out there, like giving your first annual giving report if you're a nonprofit, building impactful dashboards, building entitlement processes. That's one I actually want to see by Patrick Connolly. And you know what? These are all free. The ones given by MVPs are all free.
That's right, free as in beer. There are HOTs that you do have to pay for, but these 8 that are being presented by MVPs, no, they're free. So go watch them, go enjoy them. They are delicious. They go down well with leftover turkey.
And if you can't get enough of the HOTs, you can purchase all the hands-on training from Dreamforce 15.
That's 55 HOTS, isn't it?
More than 55
55
HOTS.
plus, it says. Okay, it says plus.
And it comes with the exercise guides and everything.
Right. So there you go.
Anyways, send us suggestions for Salesforce videos, tips, or jokes. You can email us at wizardcast@thewizardnews.com or simply go to thewizardnews.com and select Contact WizardCast. Sorry, you were dropping the ball. Someone had to fill in and get this done.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What did you learn today, Mark? I learned that it's really bad for us to riff on some things without really coming up with some sort of bullet point, because we don't do a good job of this.
What are you talking about, Brian? We're professionals. We know exactly what we're doing.
Technically, since we don't get paid for doing the podcast, we're not professional podcasters.
We're not?
No.
Oh, man.
The definition of professional means you're getting paid for what you're doing.
I'm going to have to remake all my business cards then.
Yep, business cards that says professional podcaster.
Don't you?
No.
I learned that I'm going to have to make new business cards.
I learned I have a difficult time pronouncing Sheldon Wolverton's name if I don't have it written down.
Can we just finish this? Do the outro, please.
WizardCast is produced by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, directed by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, technical administration by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, script writing by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, audio editing by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, website maintenance by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, turkey basting by Brian Kwong, even though it's a terrible idea to baste your turkey, and our intern this episode was the turkey. Did I mention I occasionally turkey hunt with my father-in-law?
Send us your interview suggestions, jokes, videos, tips, and feedback to wizardcast@thewizardnews.com or head over to thewizardnews.com and click Contact WizardCast.
Don't forget to subscribe to the WizardCast and receive our next episode automagically. Once again, I'm Brian. Speaking of Thanksgiving...
What do you mean, speaking? We've been speaking of Thanksgiving the entire episode, and now the episode is over.
What did the turkey say to the computer?
Oh, what?
Google, Google, Google.
I hate you so much right now.
Don't forget to share this episode with your friends, your family, and everyone else. Don't forget, the Halloween episode criteria is still in place. You must share this and get people to listen, or some unforeseen event that won't actually happen will come true.
Brian, what have I told you about threatening the listeners?
That wasn't much of a threat.
You aren't very threatening.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your point. I didn't threaten the listeners. You told me not to threaten the listeners, so I didn't threaten them.
That was a threat. That was a passive.
I was providing
aggressive,
encouragement. I was providing encouragement
by offering negative consequences if they did.
Yeah, it's called parenting.
But they're not your kids.
Oh, so close to getting Mark to spew Pepsi out his nose. So close.
No cigar.
Well, that's good. Smoking's bad for you.
Yes, bad for you. Don't smoke, kids. It's a terrible habit. It'll kill you someday.
Yes. Or eat a lot of, bacon. That's much more delicious than tobacco. Remember the whole WHO thing that's put, processed meats and red meat in the same category?
I don't care. No, I don't care. Bacon's amazing.
Yeah. It is amazing. And it'll raise your risk from 1% to 2% whoopie-doo.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to close the recording now.
You should probably do that.
All right.